So guys, today I'm going to take you through the most high-tech gate system that we've installed because it's unreal, but it hasn't been easy, but it's turned out exactly as I'd envisioned it. So let's get after it. So guys, earlier this year I had a load of work done to the house, a brand new driveway laid and a new entrance with a new set of electric gates. And with them being at my house, they had to be the most high-tech electric gates that I could have imagined. And I think we've just about pulled it off. I wanted it to have a custom intercom like this, where you can change it to your heart's content with loads of pictures, two-way audio, different assignable keys for different people at different times of the day, and a video camera that links straight to your phone. As well as the keypad, I wanted some high-tech security that can not only recognize the number plate of a car and then open the gates, but also has technology built in like Face ID, so that, for example, when the postman arrives, this will see his face and open the gates so he can get to the front door. It really is magic. As well as deploying full signal Wi-Fi down here, just in case you needed it. As I was building the gates, some sort of miracle happened. Ubiquiti, one of my favorite internet companies, released a gate access system which is perfect for this entire setup. It's called the Gate Access Kit, and delving into the world of intercoms, which I'm not really well versed in, it's actually really well priced. Well, that's what the gate people told me. Apparently intercoms can get expensive. And you can mix and match it with different types of intercom with different sizes that do different things. But let's start from the beginning. So to make this system work, you need some sort of brains, some sort of controller, and it's all made by Ubiquiti, and they come in loads of different flavors. If you don't have a Dream Machine Pro Max like I do, you can pick up standalone cloud keys or even run it in the cloud. This basically runs Unify software, Unify Protect, which is Unify's camera system, and we'll come back to that later, as well as Unify Access, which is basically what this video is based around. The access system is what controls everything that's down at the gates. So basically, when they ripped up the driveway to lay the new drive down, I had them put a big pipe under the driveway that comes under here and goes all the way down to the gates. And in that pipe, I ran 3 different cables, 2 Cat 6 outdoor rated and 1 SFP. Now we only really need one of those Cat 6 runs. The other cables, the other Cat 6 and the SFP, were just there for future proofing if I ever need them in the future. So this is my Dream Machine Pro Max. It runs all the software. That's then connected to this PoE switch, which goes down to the gates, and then you've got the access hub connected to that. So let's go and have a look outside at the other end of these cable runs down by the gates. So it goes without saying I had the gates professionally installed because I don't know where to begin. So massive shout out to Lee for installing these gates because he did an absolutely sound job. This thing here is the nice controller, and it basically controls the gates. The gates are super simple. It's a couple of motors on each gate which receive a signal from here, open or closed, and this is controlled via relays. It's a really cool piece of kit with all the terminals you need to interface with basically any gate system, and it also has a PoE switch basically built into it. So this is receiving data from the rack in the house and power over PoE. As well as that, it has 4 Ethernet ports on it which are PoE out, and these can be used to power up different devices down here at the gates like security cameras and the intercom. So it's basically one Ethernet run down from the house which powers the whole system, and it's all powered from the main switch in the house. Makes the whole thing really simple. So this blue little light here next to this black cable is coming from the house. We're receiving power and data here, and then these 3 cables here are going out to 2 cameras and 1 is going to the intercom. So the intercom lives on this side, so obviously people can ring into the house and that goes straight to the app on my phone. And there's another security camera here which just points in looking at the house, and the AI camera, which is the really special one, the one that has Face ID and that can detect your number plate, is on the other side of the gates. And all that connects into the access hub. Really simple. This is the U7 Outdoor from Ubiquiti, and it's a Wi-Fi 7 access point. Now these antennas come with it and they usually stick out the top here, but what I did was I bought these little antenna extenders here, and now I can close up this box and the antennas can live on the outside. I spray painted these black so it gives it that OEM look, and now we have insane Wi-Fi at the gates. So basically you have your control devices like the intercom and the AI camera which connect to the gate hub, and then the gate hub tells the gates what to do. It is really simple, although it seems complicated. Right, so we've checked out all of the hardware outside, the gates themselves, the camera system, the intercom, and the gate controller that ties everything together. But all of this hardware is absolutely nothing without a great software experience. I'm currently logged on to my UDM Pro Max, which, if you remember, is my gateway that lives in the loft that runs all of my Unify software. As I told you guys earlier, we've got Network, Protect, and Access. So let's open up the Access software to see how things are set up. Now you're instantly put onto this page, which is kind of nice and kind of clean. You've got unlock activity, so you can see when and who has unlocked the gates, whether it's a license plate, Face ID, or someone's punched in a pin. You can easily click here to open the gates, open the pedestrian gates, and then this keeps the gates open. Now these toggles are configurable and can do certain different things depending on what your gates can allow. These pictures of the gates here are just ones that I have installed as the user to help me identify what these buttons actually do. If I click on the play button here, it will load up the live feed from the gates, which you can see right here. And if your gate system supports it, it can also report the status of the gate. So as you can see right here, it says open, and that's because the gates are currently open. Now the beauty of this system is you can set up different users. Now every different user can have their own specific PIN code for the gates, so if they come up to the gates they can punch in their PIN code, which is ACE, but you can also tie the license plates and Face ID to certain faces. So if we open my login here, for example, you can see that I have a bunch of my license plates in here. So if that AI camera sees a car and detects one of these number plates, it will go ahead and open the gates for me and say that that user has opened the gates triggered via a number plate recognition. Now this is an absolute game changer for me because I've always got people coming to and from my house and coming to the studio as well. So having those known license plates stored in this software means that when people arrive, they don't have to ring me and tell me to open the gates. It just all happens automatically, which is a massive, massive time saver when it happens every single time. Now this Amazon one is really interesting. I have a certain code set up for Amazon deliveries, which I have told my Amazon account. So if I have a large delivery coming, the Amazon delivery drivers get told the PIN for the gates. Now this is a specific PIN that I've only given to Amazon. And if you go into the settings, you can make this PIN only work at specific times of the day. If we click on the log here, you can see who and what has triggered the unlock of the gate. So as you can see, I actually got an Amazon delivery today at 11:46. And if I click this button here, you can see there is our Amazon driver putting in the custom Amazon PIN code that I gave to Amazon. Now, I mentioned earlier that I talked to you guys about Unify Protect, which is Ubiquiti's camera system and how it interlinks with this gate system. So as well as the number plate recognition, which is awesome by itself, you can also set up Face ID. Now please note, this only works with Ubiquiti's line of AI cameras, which do come with a pretty expensive price tag compared to their normal lineup of cameras, but the features that come on these cameras are insane. Now there's this special AI recognition tab down here. Let's click on this and we have a whole load of faces here. I don't know how much of this you guys are going to see because obviously this is very personal stuff. So if I click on me, for example, you can see here that here is all of the images that have been captured of me from that AI camera on the gates, which is absolutely nuts. It's like kind of scary to see. And if we click over here to license plates, this is where it gets really interesting. If we click on Jed, for example, who's currently sat behind the camera, you can see all the times he has arrived and left my house. And obviously the gates open automatically because it recognizes Jed's number plate. So if I play this clip back here of Jed arriving, you can see that pretty instantly it recognizes Jed's number plate. It knows it's a sedan, which is absolutely crazy. And it's also got the color there. So with that, what you can do is go here into detections, click on vehicle, and then we can search for vehicle type. Here's all the red vans that have gone past. Now you can even detect animals as well with this. So these are all of the dogs that have walked past my house, as well as my dog roaming round the garden. Now this bit's where it goes a little bit next level and a little bit scarier with the Face ID stuff. So what we're going to do inside of Protect is create an alarm. And what we're going to say here is Face ID, and we're going to go to known faces. So I've set up inside of Protect a load of known faces. So those are all of the people that I know. You can set this to always happen or have it on a custom schedule. And I'm also going to select the gate camera here. Then as an action, I can click unlock front gates, and we're also going to add an action and we're going to notify me. I could then click custom content and put here Face ID unlock gates, and then click create. So now we've just created a rule that if the AI camera at the front of the house detects a known person, it will open the gates and then send a notification to my mobile device saying that it's done that thing. Now with this alarm manager that's built into UniFi Protect, it can also access UniFi Access, which is the gate system. So you can basically set up any sort of trigger to open the gates or simply just notify you. So I could say license plate recognition here for known vehicles, and I could choose the gate camera, and I could just set this to notify me. So now if a known vehicle is detected by the gate camera on my phone, I will get a notification saying known vehicle detected. It is absolutely nuts. And the crazy part is none of this was a thing half a year ago when I was building these gates. So I'm not sure if Ubiquiti saw that I was building some gates and wanted to just do this for me, or this is just a massive coincidence and it's all happened at the same time. But my love for Ubiquiti has never stopped, from Wi-Fi back in like 2015 all the way to this overpowered gate system that now lives at the front of my house. And it really does just unify, which is Ubiquiti's whole ethos, the whole system, all under one dashboard, completely subscription free, all running locally within my house. I genuinely couldn't ask for any more. It's unreal. So the gates have been up and running now for about 2 months, and before I made this video to tell you guys how good it was, I did want to run it through its paces to make sure that it does what it says on the tin. And there hasn't been a single time that me or anybody has arrived and it has not opened the gates due to not detecting a license plate. Like 100% of the time it works really well. You can rely on it, which I thought was going to be a little bit hit and miss, but that's not the case at all. Whilst we were filming this video, Ubiquiti actually sent me their newest AI camera, which is the AI Dome. So with this, what I'm going to do is replace that other little camera that's looking back at the house, and that way I can have the gates open when people are leaving. And like I told you guys earlier, you can set it on schedule. So I could say that it's only going to open the gates when it detects a license plate at certain times of the day. That way, if someone comes to try and steal my car at night and they manage to get into it, the gates won't open to let them out, which is obviously security is a #1 priority here. But guys, that's been it. The most overpowered gate system probably on YouTube. And with that out the way, we need to thank today's video sponsor, Squarespace. I want to say a massive thanks to Squarespace because they've been a huge supporter of TechFlow over this past year, which has been awesome. If you guys don't know what Squarespace is for whatever reason, it's the best place to go to make a really easy, simple website. You basically choose from one of the thousands of professionally designed templates that are there, and then you can customize it to make it yours. They've also just introduced loads of AI features now as well, which can help you with your writing on your website, which is sick. People think websites are really hard to make, but that really isn't the case on Squarespace. They've got things like e-commerce on there as well, so you can sell actual product, digital or physical, on your Squarespace website. They've got SEO, so you can see how your website's going to appear on search engines like Google, which is actually quite important. What's more important is you guys can save 10% on your first Squarespace website or domain by using code TechFlow, or go to squarespace.com/TechFlow. And guys, this is the last video of 2024, so we'll see you in 2025. Adios.